Hi everyone, welcome back to our course Python Programming 2020. Now let's talk about OS library. So OS library is a default library available within the Python. So and for importing that we have to do like import OS. So this would be able to import the OS library, and for using it we should be using os dot and then various methods within the OS. So let's see what are the different methods available. We can do dir of OS, and if you run, so we have like lot of functionalities available. So but we may not be able to explore all of them, but let's see what is more popular and which even I have used. Usually this OS library is similar to what we use in our terminal. So in case we want to create a folder, we can do it through the terminal. We can even navigate across like various files, access various files. We can do it through a terminal. The same way even we can do the same using Python OS library. So let's now try to know like what directory we are currently in. So basically in case if you run it in your local, so you would be getting the path of your location where the file currently this file is in. But in case if you are running it here, I am running it in Google Colab, so it would give the location where this notebook has been saved. So os.getCwd would give us the location where we are operating it. So if you run it, so I got /content, so it was in this content folder. So to check that, we can click on this sidebar where we have files. So this entire thing is within the content folder. So there are many actually, like if you go to up, like you'll be seeing so many, which is a kind of a file system. We'll be currently in this content folder. That is what will be showing over. So within the content, if you want to know what are the files available within that folder, doing a command like this. So in Windows we can use something like dir in the terminal, and if you press enter, it would list down all the directories and files available in that folder. And similarly in Linux we can use ls command. So likewise here we can use something like listdir. We can give the folder name over here. It expects the folder name, so we can even give this /content here. So I have given this /content, and when I run it, so now it should be showing, see, like it is showing this sample data, as well as there is also one more folder which was like file like which was .config, so but is not visible. Maybe that is an hidden folder. Now see, like if this is a directory or a file, so for that purpose we have to first give the full path of it. So full path would be something like /content /.config. So this would be the full path, right? So full path, and this you want to check if it is a file or a folder. So for that we can do it like os.path.exists. So this is a command which we can use to know if the given path is a directory. So if I run, it return true, it means it is a directory. So we can go in check what is inside that directory. For that we can use the same command which we used earlier, and instead of this we give you like .config, and it would list down again like few more files which were inside this folder. We can use this listdir to list down the folders and files in that folder. It would only show the files that are in that same level. Inside this sample it would show me these files, but in case if there are folders here and there are some more files over there, so it wouldn't show the files which were inside the folders. It's not a recursive list of folders and files and folders. It is just like at that level what is visible. Let's say I have opened this folder, and here it would only list down the things like which are available at this level, but nothing inside this folder. Like these information won't be available by using this listdir. So let's see what is inside this sample data. So for that we can put something like sample data, and if I run it, it would show me the list of files over there. So it is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you can also see it in the sidebar in the explorer bar, so where you have these 6 files like which were written here, right down here. So the same files are also visible here, but here I am actually manually joining this folder name with the name like before that. So instead of doing that, we can also use os.path.join to join paths. It's like os.path.join, and you give like os.getCwd. So this obviously, like as we know it earlier, like it should be returning as the slash content. And to this, in case if you want to go into the direct sample data directory, so this would be the complete path of the sample directory. So if you run it, it would be same as like you get slash content slash sample data, but in case if this can contain a longer folder structure, and if you want to add like one more level of folders or something, or even the file name we can use, so we can use it like this. The same way, in case if you want to use tilde files, let's say you have the sample data, and in the sample data you want to give minus.csv, that path is .csv. So if you run it, so this would be the complete path which is till here. If you want to know, if you have given some path and you want to know if file exists in that path or not, we can do it by using os.path.exists, and then inside if you give the complete path, so here let me give this path and see like if it is exists or not. So if I run it, it returned true because there is a file with name like minus.text.cv, so that exists, so it has given true. So in case if I gives the name like which doesn't exist there, let's say I gave an file path like which doesn't exist over there, so if I run it, you can see it has given false. This is how we can use this os.path.exist functionality and find out if the file exists in the path or not. Let's say I want to create inside this content folder, I would like to create one more directory. So I can do it by using make dirs and give the full path here in the content. Instead of sample data, I want to give new data folder as a folder name, and if I run it and let's refresh and see if it has created any, you can see a new folder has come up with new data, just like how we have mentioned here, the same thing it has appeared. So now if I want to run again the same thing, so this is I mean like if the data folder already exists, I'm trying to create it again. So if I run it again, it has given an error. It says that file exists error, file already exists. So this is an error, which means, so if you try to create a folder which already exists, that would give an error. So now we have to make sure that like the folder is not present already. So for that purpose, we can use the functionality which we discussed before, which is os.path.exists. So and check if the path is present or not, and only create this folder if the path is not present. So for that we can write a condition like if not os.path. So let's say let me give here the path I want to create. Let me write folder path and save this variable here. So let me save it, and now os.path.exists, and so if not exists, so it means if it exists, it won't go into this condition. If not exists, only then it would come into this condition. And if it doesn't exist, so you can use make dirs and add this folder path. Now if you run it, you see it did not receive any error. So let's say now I change the folder path name to new data 2 and run it again. So let me copy this again back. Now I would change the folder path to a different name which is not existing here and run it. And if I run, you can see here, let's refresh and see here. You can see this new folder 2, like new data 2, which I have created here. So it has come over there. Now if you want to know the files and folders within each of the folder. Let's say I have created a new file here, tail.txt, and similarly in one more I have created one more folder similarly. So now I have created multiple files here. So it means in the folder here, so we have multiple folders as well as multiple files within it. So now in case if we want to go and get like each of the file path here, so we can use a function called glob. So now in case if you want to list down all the files recursively, import glob, write a loop. Like glob is actually a functionality which would be parsing across the file paths and search for the pattern which we have provided and list down all the matchings. If you do glob.iglob and inside you give the path like which you want to give. So till here I have given the file folder path where it should look into. So it means it would start from /content, and inside which I have given this kind of pattern, which means star 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 slash star star. It means it can have any names or anything. So and recursive is true. If you put this option as true, only then it would look into folders and folders. I am printing each and every search result which it would be getting there. So now if you run it, you can see it has given us the content which is the existing folder, and then content new data, this, and inside new data 2 we have like 2 more files, you can see here. So it has given these full paths of these files, and next like it has taken the next folder which was new data, which was this, and then new data untitled text, so it was this here. So similar way also for sample data and each of the file like which was in the sample data, which all these files. So this way it would recursively search and give the file name. In case if we want to get only the CSV files that were inside this folder instead of all, so we can do it by adding a .csv to in the pattern by like this. So if you add your folder like this and run it, so by using this .csv, it means that the file name can be anything, but towards the end it should have .cxv. So this way it would check here and list down only the paths that are ending with .csv here. So similar way, like you can have it same thing for if you want to list down only the text files or maybe only the JSON files. So you can use like this and run it. This would list down only the JSON files. So these are like 2 JSON files, one in like sample data and one more in new data 2. So it has listed down both the paths.